Now that we've memorized the nines, squares, and big bad numbers, let's see how they make learning the sixes, sevens, and eights super easy. Here are the sixes, sevens, and eights. And most kids have an easy time with 6 times 1 through 6 times 5. So I'm going to check off these facts here. Let's also check off 7 times 1 through 5 and 8 times 1 through 5. It's this last set of facts that usually gives students a hard time. Guess what though? Remember the nines, squares, and big bad numbers and how easy they were to memorize? The good news is that those facts start reappearing in the sixes, sevens, and eights. So use them to your advantage. Let's start with the sixes. Where have we seen 6, 6, 36? That's one of the squares right here. So I'm going to write down S for square. Next, we have 6 times 7 equals 42. That sounds like someone's jersey number. And we saw number 42 here in the big bad numbers. James Worthy wore number 42. So I'll write down B for big bad numbers. Next we have 6, 8, 48. And where have we heard that rhyme before? That was one of our big bad numbers as well. So I'll write down B for big bad numbers. And finally, 6 times 9 equals 54. Where have we seen this before? It's one of the nines. So write down N for nines. So by the time students reach the sixes, they'll realize that they already know every single one of these facts. Let's take a look at the sevens. Here's 7 times 6 equals 42, or 6 times 7 equals 42. And once again, that's one of our big bad numbers. So write down a letter B. Moving on to the next one. Where have we seen 7 times 7 equals 49? And these are the sevens twins who forgot one of the stars. And we saw them in the squares. So write down S for squares. Next we have 7 times 8 equals 56, or 5, 6, 7, 8. That was one of our big bad numbers. And finally, where have we seen 7 times 9? That's one of the nines. So write down a letter N for nines. And once again, when students get to the sevens, they'll realize that they know every single one of them. Let's move on to the eights. Here's 8 times 6 equals 48, or 6, 8, 48. That is one of our big bad numbers. Next, we have 8 times 7 equals 56, or 5, 6, 7, 8. That's also a big bad number. Here's the next one. 8 times 8 equals Nintendo 64. That was one of our squares. Now here's the last one. 8 times 9 equals 72. Where have we seen this before? That's one of our nines. So write down a letter N for nines. And yet again, when students reach the eights, they'll realize that they already know every single one of these facts. And that's the power of the magic sequence. We started with the 2s, 3s, 4s, and 5s. Then we moved on to the nines, squares, and big bad numbers because these facts were easy to learn. Then, these easy to learn facts reappeared in the sixes, sevens, and eights, making these facts easy to learn as well. In the next video, we'll take a look at the lessons that go along with each of the steps of the magic sequence.